like all the Linux fundamentals. So this week onwards, we are concentrating on how to penetrate into the systems and network infrastructure. Okay. So part of our lab, we are in a hacker machine or victim machine. So we'll discover the victim machine from the hacker machine and do some kind of things. Just take time. So wait. You can change the view to the like at 125% or 150% virtual screen. It's okay, 125% you already have. Fine, leave that to be auto scale out. Log into the system. So you have to use the Parrot Security OS as a like your attacker machine, like other machines as your victims when you are doing practice. Okay. All of you first listen carefully, understand that, then you can start your practice. Okay. I will give you the system. So can you open the Met terminal? So in the top you will get the terminal icon. So you can open the terminal. So it will open the terminal in your home folder path. Or you can close that. You can open the terminal in your desktop path also. Can you close that? You don't need to update anything. Just right click. You can open in terminal also. So you can open the terminal from the command like a top like a shortcut, okay, or like a directly from your desktop, okay. So both are fine. Like right click, open in terminal. That is the option you have to use. So when you open the terminal will always like a switch to the user mode only by default. So what hackers do, they use the hacking tools, am I right? So their hacking tools most of the time run in a administrator mode. Like who is the administrator? Root user. So you have to switch to the root mode by using sudo space su. So type the command sudo space su. So it will switch to the like a user, like a root user. So you can just like see that you are in a root mode. So when you see that like in a, you can see that like a hacker @parrot. Now root @parrot. So parrot is a host name. So username is like a hacker. Now admin username is root. We are in a root mode. You have to check your IP address. Like check like your IP address by typing IP space address. Even like you can type the complete address or like any few characters also acceptable. Even IP space A also acceptable, IP space AD also acceptable, ADD acceptable, up to address. Okay. So now we type like a IP space A to know the IP address details. Now we can say that we have a two network interfaces, LO and ENT0SP. So we are using like a LO is a low back address 127.0.0.1 whatever we have. That loop back address is only applicable to your computer. Your computer can communicate itself. Loop back address. Okay. Now I want like a communicate with other computers. So then I need to use the like other interface. So where we have an actual IP address. Now you can see the 10.0.10/24. /24 represent your network range in a CIDR format. So classless inter-domain routing format we have CIDR format. That format is like a /24. So in the next week classes, you will understand what is this /24 and everything, because like we have a so long few sessions about talking about IP internet protocol and that CIDR class format and everything. Okay. Now just if you want to discover all your live missions, you need to scan with your IP address /20. Now we use the tool name is called Nmap, network mapping tool. Am I right? So our Nmap tool will allow us to map the network, identify all the live hosts and their open ports and services and their operating system details and everything we can get by using advanced scan. You have to use the advanced scan, hyphen capital A. If you give that Nmap space hyphen capital A and our IP address, okay, 10.0.2.10/24. Now, if you run this, like it will take a few minutes. Press enter, so it will start scanning your network. So we are trying to scan our network to identify all the live hosts and they are running any services or not. Is it a server machine or client machine? We can figure out based upon this report. So Nmap is going to be enable all advanced options. You are using -A. -A means it is using operating system detection, server version, service related version detection, and it is running some scripts also against them. Okay, default script engine also enabled, and like it is going to be identify the trace route information. So see that you got all those details. Now, as per this in the bottom, last line is showing that Nmap done. Nmap done. How many IP addresses it is scanned? 256 IP addresses as per the /24. That whole network range is scanned. In that whole network is range scanned, like how many IP addresses are identified by this? 4 hosts in them. In his computer network, like this NAT network has a 4 hosts now. So now scroll up, see the one by. So 10.0.2.10 is already is machine parent. Other than that, what other machines we have? See that? So it is showing that like a 10.0.2.1. So 2.1 is a gateway basically because like so gateway related IP address for a first IP address. Most of the networks. Now, so his main Windows machine is acting like a gateway to create this NAT network. That's why you can see the like a Microsoft Windows. Okay, so he's using a Windows. That's why like a Windows related it is showing. Okay, just scroll down. Now, so 10.0.2.2 is like a scroll down. Now 2.2 also showing that like all in a ignored state, like so there is no open ports. Basically, this is also used as a like so our NAT network. So DNS server it is basically our NAT network use our extra IP address. 2 IP addresses we have to ignore in our NAT network. 2.1, 2.2. After that, all the machines are like machine IP addresses only will get. Okay. Now next is 2.3 you can see that 10.0.2.3 is running some machine like so with the different services. You can see that FTP SSH service is running. So you can see that like a multiple services running on that machine. So you have like a hint. Okay, so whenever some services are running, that is a server. So server means services enabled in the server machine, computing machine. So our servers like most of the time run the sub services, web services, email services, database services, remote access services, file sharing services. Like that different services they will run. Now 2.3 IP address has a sub services. We have a clear details. Now it is a you can see the NetBIOS name, Metasploitable. We have a machine name Metasploitable. So we launched like a Metasploitable machine or not. That machine is discovered. So that machine IP address is 2.3 in his computer network right now. Okay, now let's type the command nmap space 10.0.2.3 would be. So first what we did a complete host discovery with the help of the port scanning to know like about our network. Now we are choosing only one specific IP address. Just scan that specific IP address with the nmap regular scan. See that like our nmap regular scan is giving the details. What are the details it is giving? Like the so port number is of open or not, state of the port and service of the port. So which service it is running? FTP service, SSH service, Telnet service, SFTP service. Different services are running on that. Now you have to attack on those services. See, always service version detection is the best choice to you to know the more details. So now can you run the hyphen small s and capital V command? When you use the nmap, hyphen s capital V. Okay. So service version detection. Now enter. So previously got the port is the open or not, which service running. Now you will get the which service running by using which software. Extra column you will get. Our nmap will give the extra column to you. So for this, now see this, we have like they are running FTP service, FTP service related software also. You can see that VSFTP software. They are running SSH. They are by using OpenSSH software. You can see all the details. Okay, so this is like a quickly get find. But if you observe that, is it really complete all port scan in that machine? No. Can you scroll up? You can see that like it is clearly showing the like a number. Can you see this? How many ports are closed? 977 closed ports we have. It means 23 ports are open. So by default, our nmap scan always do the 1000 port scan only. Please remember, your nmap scanner regular scanning technique is 1000 port scanning, not all the ports. But how many ports we have in our computer? 65,536 ports we have. It means 0 to 65,535. So you have to mention that to know every service running on that computer. Because some hack like administrators try to hide their services from the public by using some random code. Now SSH port is a 22, but that guy can run that in a 22,000. 22,000 is not a known port, not a most popular port. Due to that, the 1000 port scanning doesn't cover that port. So due to that, like just you have to scan every port, every possible port you have to find out. Now you can use the hyphen P for the range, specifying the port range. You can use the like nmap space hyphen P space 0 hyphen 65,535. So you can mention like a 0 65 5,035. And space you can use any option. So now I want to know the service version detection also. Now hyphen small s and capital. So we mentioned the like a port range. Now we are trying to scan the entire ports, all ports available in the target machine. So nmap has a special like a so scripting engine. Okay, so nmap has a like a special module name is called NSC, nmap script engine. With help of the nmap script engine, you can do the brute force attack, vulnerability scanning. You can do the like can enumerate some extra technical information. Okay. Lot of modules are available. So can you open the Firefox browser? So you can see the Firefox browser in the top, like so, or like you can find that under applications we have, right? Internet category. That place you can find the browser. Comparing with a normal port scan, like this all port scan take really long time. So can you show me the Susan once that command? So what is the target you given? Only one or like a complete network?
Only one, sir.
Yeah, only one. Okay, so never run the all port scan on the entire network, okay? This will take a lot of time to you. Only choose your victim, do the all port scan on your victim IP only. So you can just search for the nmap space NSC, okay, in a Google. And one more thing, like nmap NSC space brute, you can search for the brute force category scripts only. So you can use nmap nsc root category script. Okay, so nsc means nmap script engine. So nmap tool has a nsc script engine. It has a so in that script engine, like you will get a lot of things. So use the root category. Nmap nsc space root. Okay, so you will get the link. Scroll down. If possible, open that in a google.com. You will get the like a link in a directly in a first. So first place, okay, search that keyword in a Google search. Open the Google and like so visit that keyword. Because like a DuckDuckGo, Brave, there are search engines so I will get up, right? No search nmap. Yes. So here's the fruit LSC categories contingent link in a first link itself. Okay. If you open that, like you can see all this. In that scripts list, like so you have to find out which script is compatible with the which service is running there. Okay. Now you know that like your victim system is running some services. You have to like perform the brute force attack on those services with the nmap script engine default onlys. Our nmap tool has a inbuilt like so username password combinations inbuilt. So that username password combinations you can find. So that you can top like you can see the like categories. Click on the categories link categories link. Categories. Fourth option. So there is a brute category. So that page. This page has every service related brute force category scripts. Okay. Now so search for the like a control F and search for the SSH. SSH. You can see that like SSH brute. Right click and open that in a new tab. Don't open that. Go back.
మొత్తం కవర్ వేస్తున్నావు
Click and open it.
స్వింగ్ కొంచెం పైకా మద్దది ఏమంటది
Now you have to go to
నాకు
the
ఎప్పుడు
brute
పట్టదు
category.
ఫోన్ తో అలా వాడిపోతుందనా
Same
అలా
way like you
వాడిపోతే
can
ఎట్లుంటది
search for the like so
ఏమో ఇబ్బంది
that
ఏమో
in a top
ఇబ్బంది
search. You
వస్తుంది
just
నాకు
use the control F and search. Whenever you open their website, in their website, like so, in your root category, use Control F in a browser and search for the SSH. Okay, you can see the SSH root. Open that in a new tab, like the same way. So search for the telnet keyword. So in a root category list, search for the telnet. Open that in a new tab. Now search for the R execute. R EXEC. So open that. Now same way R login. R execute and R login. So open those links. So what are those services? See, we have like in the old days, Linux systems, remote access purpose, they use like a R execute and R login services. Part of the RSH. So they use like a one service name is called RSH service. That remote shell service support the executing command, remote command execution, and remote shell access. Okay, R login allow us to log into the system. R execute allow us to execute the command. Okay, R execute and R login has a like a purpose. Okay.
కొంచెం
Now I want to send the only simple commands remotely. Okay, then our execute can allow me to do the execute the simple commands. But I want the control do a lot of things on that victim machine. Okay, so then I prefer to use R login where I can do the multiple activities. Guys are able to follow me. Now, same way, old days, very old days, they used R execute and R login. After that, they introduced Telnet. Telnet purpose is very simple. Same, remote shell access. It means remotely can log into the your like a server or your system with help of the like a telnet service. You can remote access the machine. Now hackers are going to be take advantage of that remote access. After the telnet uses, like a people introduce SSH. SSH is the most secure, trusted communication channel we have for the remote access services. Now R execute, R login is outdated. Even telnet also outdated. Now what is a popular remote access service in the market? SSH, secure cell. Secure cell is the most popular like a cell. Okay. But in case in a worst case, you are scanning one system. The system has any one of these services can allow you to get into that machine remotely. Got it? You have to observe that we have a open ports services related to that or not. Now go to your Nmap scanning report. So we scan our target IP address. Now scroll up and see that do you have SSH? Yes. So you have a like SSH running on port number 22. Now you can use the SSH-brute script. Can you go to your web page? We have SSH-brute page, am I right? SSH-brute. Okay, so in that page. Now, yeah, scroll. See the example command uses. How they are mentioning. You have to call the Nmap. You have to mention the port number 22. Their port number, which port they are running. And you have to call the script SSH-brute. And after that, your IP address. Do you want extra arguments? You can add the extra arguments also. You can add the like a users list and password list like that also. Now you don't, if you don't pass the arguments, it will consider the default values. Okay. Now let's go with like a without any arguments. Okay. So use the open the terminal. In the terminal, open the new tab. Control Shift to T. Control Shift to T. So open the tab. No, that is a new terminal. Open the tab. In a file, when you click on the file, you will get the option Control Shift to T. Under file, you can see the open new terminal tab option. Open new terminal tab option. Tab. Okay, so we need a tabs. Okay, Control Shift to T. Okay. Now, whenever you open your terminal tab, what happens? It is directly loaded in a user mode again, am I right? Because our terminal by default, when we started, that profile is a user profile. Now switch to the root mode, sudo space su. Now what is the command we have to type? Nmap space -p space 22 port number 2 script 2 hyphens minus script SSH-brute hyphen. Now after that IP address. Now 10.0.2.3 is our target IP address. Can you check their command? So they given a same sample example like a command or not? Go to that web page. Web page has the same structure, but it has extra arguments also. I will show you how to use those arguments concept later. Okay. Arguments are like for our customized attack. Now I have a users list, password list. Then I can try with a list of the users, list of the passwords. That customized. First learn the brute default approach. Okay. Later you can learn how to customize your script engine scripts. Now your SSH brute force attack is going on target machine. Okay. Open the new terminal tab. Switch to the sudo space su. Root mode. Switch to the root mode in another tab. Now go to your Nmap scanning report. Check do you have a telnet or not. And first to terminal tab. First to terminal tab we have Nmap. So check that we have a telnet or not. Yes. Now check the telnet -brute script web page in our Nmap script engine documentation. So see the syntax how they have. Same similar to the SSH. but only port number and script name is changed or not? Structure is same. Okay. Now just to type the command, just in the place of SSH, telnet. In the place of like port number 23. Yeah. So I personally mentioned the like extra commands. Sudo means root. If you are not in a root, like by default run on behalf of the root user, am I right? That's why in a group like I shared commands with the sudo prefixes. But you already in a root mode, you don't need to type that also. It's extra. Okay, when you are in a root mode, you don't need to mention the sudo as a prefix. SV is like a version detection. Now it is going to be double check that target is telnet or not. Version check. Okay, service version check. Okay. So we enable. Why I need to enable the service version check? Sometimes it can fail to know the exact target is the same version or not. So now if you try that, like so, it is going to be confirm the weak credentials. Now see, this script is successful. It is displaying like a telnet credential. So script identified two valid weak credentials in that server. Okay. Now so let's try like a next service R login, R execute also. So we have other scripts. Okay. Verify that R login service running on that port number 5113, 51 okay 12 or not. Please check that. So go to your Nmap scanning report and verify that. You have like execute and login related 5112 and 5113. Okay. So you have like R execute and R like R execute, R login services, remote like a login services are running on that. So now like attack on those ports also. Just like go through the Nmap script and just change the like a port number 5112, 5113. Like so, just follow the process. So in which port like we have our login, check that and provide that port. And which port like RSS is running and like so provide that like RSS. Sorry, that R execute. Enter. Now open terminal tab. You don't need to switch to that like root when you are in sudo as a prefix. So provide the port number 5112. Execute. Oh my god, like so. So we got the like a few credentials related to the RSH. So you can remotely connect to the target machine. RSH, remote shell connection purpose. See RSS, R execute, R login credential both are same. R login, RSH, okay, R execute all are same. అర్థమవుతుందా? Remote shell service. ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ కోసం వాడే క్రెడెన్షియల్స్ సేమే, లాగిన్ కోసం వాడే క్రెడెన్షియల్స్ కూడా సేమ్. సో మీకు ఒక్కటి వచ్చినా చాలు. Now we got the already R execute related credentials. You can use them, you can log into the target machine with help of them. Okay. Just like a wait for the attack. Like once your attack is completed, you can like take advantage of those credentials. Now SSH testing is going on. Okay. We need like a software name is called like RSS client. If you want to connect to the RSS server, you need to use the RSS client. If you want to use like a telnet access, remote access, telnet, if you want access, you can use the inbuilt telnet connectivity option, or you can use a third party software name is called Putty. Putty software allows us to use for the SSH and telnet together. So we can install. So can you type the sudo space apt update
Sir, what we have to do if we want to target a system which is outside the network?
Now see, if it is outside of the network, you need to have a connectivity between your system to that machine. Okay, so that machine public IP address you need. Okay, now can you install like as a putty sudo apt install putty? Yeah, you can use the same terminal, any terminal. Okay. Attack జరుగుతున్న దాన్ని మార్చకండి. Attack అయిపోయింటే ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయండి. So if you have a putty directly, you can use type the command putty in a terminal. Or like you can find that in internet tab. Internet tab like వెళ్ళి చూసుకోవచ్చు కనిపిస్తుంది. Now in a putty, what you can do? You can connect to the like SSH and you can connect to the telnet. Now we successfully attacked on the telnet. Script is executed and it found the credentials also. Now so we can select the other telnet. Other ni select chestam. Other ane danni select chestam. Now telnet. Okay, port number is 23. Okay, telnet select chestam. So in the top you can see the port number 23. Target IP address, port number 23, service name is called telnet. Now in the bottom we can click on open for the connection. Now it is asking for the username password. Where is the username password? Go to your terminal. So scroll up. No. So that telnet credential. See that? You got the two sets of accounts. Username is a test, password is test. Username is a user, password is user. So when we did like a brute force attack, we found the credentials. We can use those credentials and we can log into them. Now see that? We got the shell access. So putty is a client software to connect to the server. Putty is a client we can use for the connecting to the SSH, telnet. Got my point. So hackers first what they do, they will identify the their live host, target host, identify the open ports and services, and they will do the like a brute force. Once they get the credentials, they can log into the server like this. Is it a clear all? So you can just like a type like ID, you can check the connection. So can you exit from that shell so verify that like other account is a valid account? No. So just type the command exit. Okay, it will close. So you can launch putty again so you can enter the same IP address, same service name like a telnet. So we found the two accounts am right. Verify the which account is a valid. Select the other telnet. Now you can see that you logged in as a user, previously as a test. So you can log into that system remotely. Remote shell access will get. Now you can do whatever you want. Can you type PWD? Now can you type like a ls? So you can create the one more folder, mkdir. Now so z. Now ls. See that folder is created. So you have a control on the victim server now. So from the command line access, you can do whatever you want. All the commands, whatever you learned in the last week classes, Linux commands, you can run from this place. But do you have a sudo privileges for that user? Verify that. So your user is not in a sudo file. It means whatever account he found, so that account don't have admin privileges. So that's why in a brute force attack we have to find out the interesting valid administrator users. Now if you get the even one user account level also, there is a some privilege escalation. I can use the privilege escalation technique to become user level to that thing. Got it? So anyway, we got the like a shell access. We found the valid shell access credentials. So we found like a telnet credentials. We can type exit and we can close the connection. So can you check the like a SSH result? See, SSH also found. You can connect to the SSH through the PuTTY again. You can use the PuTTY as a client software for the SSH also. Now click on open. It will ask for the accept the terms and conditions and like the keys and everything. And enter the username, password. Now you are in the connection through the SSH. Can you exit and verify the another account? When you are typing password in a PuTTY, sometimes it is not visible to you. It's okay. Enter. So if you are getting a blank screen, it means like you didn't select the right service. So PuTTY is going to be asked you to which service you want. You need to type the IP address and port number and like a option from that. Say you select port number, but you want connection wrong number, select the other, then from that. Now it will go. Now enter the username password. So PuTTY is the most popular client software for the SSH and Telnet. And in the last class, I told you when we connect to the system, sometimes we need to select the algorithm name somewhere, right? Command line. Manually, if you do that, you have to select the algorithm, suitable algorithm also. But you don't need that when you really, use a PuTTY software. PuTTY software don't ask for the any kind of algorithms, manual selection, because it auto detect the target server configuration and automatically log in and by using only the required authentication mechanism and the required algorithms for the encrypted communication purpose. Got it? Ardhamainda concept? We just discover our victim machine. We found their open ports and services. So those we found they have a remote access services, and we try to perform the brute force attack, and we try to gain access into the system with the help of their weak credentials we found in the brute force attack. Got it? Now, if you get the shell, what you can do? You already know that in the entire last week you learned a Linux in depth, am I right? All Linux commands, am I right? All those commands now work on that shell. It means you got access to your victim server. That victim server is running Linux. You know how to use a Linux command line interface, am I right? My job is trying to show you how to get the command line access. Once you get the victim machine command line access, you can do whatever you want. But it is a privileged base. You don't have a permission sometimes to read the files if you are not administrator, am I right? So you have to use a sudo privileges and all. Yeah, so you got this. Type the IP address. Now, while you are connecting, so SSH is already there. You don't need to select none. When you select this other option, then you have to select. Then this will select by default. So it will select by default SSH only as a preferred connection. Now log in with the username. So can you check the R execute R login related credentials? We can verify the R execute R login credential. Close that like a putty. So exit. Now you can see that like R login brute script is failed. Okay, didn't found any valid account, but R execute found the credential. Can you open that R execute? Yes. So we got like a remote execution command. So you can see the R execute. See R execute command accounts you can use to log in with R login. Okay. We need a, like a R execute R login related RSS client we need. Okay. So you can install the RSS client by using sudo apt install RSS client. Yeah, sudo apt install RSS client. But sometimes like this package is not available because this is a very old package. Okay, not available in the latest software libraries. So due to that, what happened? I given a one link to you. You can check in your WhatsApp web. Open your WhatsApp and see that I forwarded a link to you in a group. In our WhatsApp group, I shared like a link to download the R login. Check the R login. Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. You can see the command wget. Okay, so that command. So just like a wget command, I already know that what is a wget means. Downloading file from the internet, am I right? So wget. Okay, so I given a download link, direct RSS download link to you. Just copy paste that in your parent terminal. Copy paste that. So you have to right click and paste. Now enter. 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 You don't need to change anything, just enter. So it will download the file. Now file is ready. So please type ls and you can see the file is downloaded. Now you have a RSS Debian file. You have to install. How can you install the like a Debian file when you have sudo tpkg -i that file name? Am I right? I given that command only to as a reference to you. So we have sudo space tpkg. You already in a root mode. You don't need even sudo also. Like a tpkg space -i space that file name -i for installation. That file name RSS client. Type 2-3 characters and press the tab. It auto complete everything. Auto complete. I given it two commands. One command for downloading, another command for installation. We can check in our WhatsApp group. So I just like I shared the two commands related to the RSS. Okay, now how to interact with the RSS client? You have to simply type RSS R login. R login. Just type the R login. So you can see the help. R login required username. -L space username and like a H for host. Okay, I like a host name. Like now type like R login space -L space. What is the account? So you found in R execute style. What are the accounts? Scroll up. Okay, you have a root username, password is root. Now type the username root and space IP address. Your server IP address. Now enter. Wow, successfully got the root access. You found the one root account. Type ID. See that you have a root user 0. User ID is 0, so you have a root access. Successfully got the root level access to the machine with the help of the R login connection. You can exit from that. You can verify the next account. See, sometime our execute brute will give the false positives. Don't expect that every account should valid from that list. Scroll down, check the other accounts we have. So they have a test account, they have a user account in a result. They have a, like other accounts, admin account, like a web admin account. Sysadmin account. But like they are maybe available, may not be available. So some false information reported by this. Only this one, only they get the password. So now can you try it like a sub test? Enter. Now it's working. Exit. Now can you try like a user? It says working. Now can you try like a so? Sysadmin. In that list we have sysadmin. Okay. I'm asking for the password sysadmin. But fail. So invalid account. False positive. False information reported by them. Why it is reporting false positive? Because this is a very outdated protocol. We are using latest system, latest software, and like a very outdated old protocols. So sometimes we'll get the false information. అర్థమవుతుందా? So better to do that. You can use a Control C to stop that execution. Control C press చేయండి. You can close the like ongoing things. Okay, you can interrupt them. Okay. Done. So what are the services we explored today? 4 services. Like SSH is the like a most popular, Telnet, and even RSS related, RExecute and RLogin. Okay. So those are all are like a remote access services. Worldwide you can find in a many servers those services. Okay, can you open like a Google? Can you go to your main system and access the Google? Or like open directly website sodan.io. SHODAN.io. Sodan. Yeah. So Sodan. And you got the website link. Open that. Okay. So now search for the SSH in a double quote. Double quote. Okay. Use the double quote. Worldwide SSH enabled targets you can find now. Okay, so you can see that like more than like a 37 million records we have. 37 million users, servers, contain SSH. Okay, can you type like a telnet in a double quote? So now, so 3 lakh IP addresses. So 3 lakh IP addresses, like so they have. Now, so you can see that like you can type the like RExecute, RLogin, RExecute. Very less machines are running RLogin right now. See, they have open port. That's why they are displaying you. I can choose the victim like this. So it's illegal to mention. Try on them. I'm not permitted to say that to you. Okay, but hackers find the victims like this. Public IPs with the open ports, big services. They will attack with the same process. IP address is going to be changed, right? So they will gain access. So we have like services like a very old machines. Okay, use RExecute, RLogin, but all latest machines are using SSH. Clear everyone? All those are related to the remote access process, remote access service process. So if you want to get the remote control on like so any machine, you can use the command line interface, those services. We have a GUI based also. What are the popular services in a GUI based? VNC. Can you double click or type in a double quote VNC? VNC. Now see this. 2 million IPs are used in VNC. Okay, can you type like a so remote desktop protocol RDP? Now we have a lot of RDP hosts. So remote desktop protocol is enabled on those servers. You need to log in. Okay, so if you log in only, you can see all the results. In that part. So we have a remote desktop protocol services and we have VNC services. Okay, so it's graphical user interface. You know, like if you access that IP address, RDP IP address from your system, it will ask the username password. You need to know the username password. How can you know the username password of them? You need to like perform the brute force attack on SNB service. All Windows machines use the SNB server message block. SNB related credentials can be useful to log into the RDP also if RDP is enabled. Or directly can do the RDP brute force. So we have a tools scripts for that. Go to your LNAV script engine now. Search for the VNC. Search for the RDP. You'll get that. VNC. So RDP directly not available. But it is available in the name of SNB. 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 If SMB service is enabled, SMB service credentials you can use for the RDP login purpose also. Okay. So when we attack on Windows servers, we will learn this process. Leave that right now. We are not using any Windows server in the lab right now. We have a Metasploitable 3 Windows server. When we attack that machine, that time I will show you that process. I'll leave that. But you have a VNC, am I right? Try your luck. VNC దొరుకుతుంది మరి చూడండి. So you have a VNC brute force. So VNC icon brute you have. I have to run that. So port numbers they mention, like a script name they mention, and we have to mention the host IP address. Same, just similar to the previous step. Order and ముందు పోర్ట్ పెట్టి తర్వాత స్క్రిప్ట్ ఇవ్వచ్చు లేదా ముందు స్క్రిప్ట్ ఇచ్చిన తర్వాత పోర్ట్ పెట్టండి ప్రాబ్లం ఏం లేదు. So that same way like you can type. Okay, so check the VNC is available on that server. I think we have that. Please check that. Yes. Now try to do the port number 5900. So do I for the script? Yes, icon. Yes, icon. Scripts target IP. You can like a run also, or you can switch to the root also. ఒకసారి read root కి run చూడండి. No, you are trying something. Cancel that control. I'll change the to the VNC icon brute, change the port number to the 5900. Enter. So it is not finding the valid account, but if you find the valid account password, then you can get the GI access. You can graphically can log into that machine. Okay, can you go to the applications in a side menu? Internet. There is a like a tool name is called Remina. Remina. REMMINA. This Remina software allow you to connect to the VNC like the RDP. Okay, so can you select the VNC? That yes. Now type your server IP address. VNC is enabled. So you can connect to that. Now it is asking for the password. You know, like when you are able to guess the password, password is password, type that. When you are able to guess the password in that server password, so you are in the target machine. Enter, okay. Like that. So this is the GUI of the server. That meta slidable machine related graphical user interface. Graphically can control that machine. Previously command line right? Now this is GUI access. But you should find out the VNC password. We tried VNC password, didn't get them, right? If you get it, you will do this. I know that password, how I found that, I will show you later. We use another way to do the brute force with other tool. That other tool works better than this nmap tool. I will show you the better tools. First learn the process. అర్థమవుతుందా? So either రాలేదని disappoint కాకండి. You have other tools, better approach to find the weak knowledge. No, that service should enable them, right? So if it is enabled, then you can connect. That's my point. So if you search VNC services, you can find many. Got my point. So just work on these services today enough to you. So don't get the confusion discussing about too many services. Just only concentrate on remote access services. Already shared notes in a group. Right? So refer that, finish your practice. Tomorrow class I will show you how to gain access into the database servers. Okay, how to gain access into the database servers and like how to access into the file sharing servers. Fine. Thank you. Continue with your practice. Sujan, you typed one extra like a enter button. That's why you are getting error. There is a enter button icon. Delete that. Yeah. Now it will try to connect to that server. Enable then a port number. You have to mention the port number. So what is the port number you got in that? So VNC is running cloud. So you have to open that IP address link. When you open that IP address link, it will display that all the services. Those many open ports they have. So why those many open ports? This is the only part broke. They are tracking you. Trap it is. So I never expect too many open ports are single. If it is the lab environment or honey part. Okay. So they are using a port number not 5900. So did you find that 5900? So they are using 5908, I think. Click on that. See that which port they are using VN. Scroll up. And this is a fixed service. They are running Try on something else, okay? So check yourself. It's up to you. Fine. Thank you. Okay. So if you have any queries related to this process, so please list out your queries. You can ask me in a tomorrow class or send the query in our WhatsApp group. I can check and help with that. Right? Thank you. You can stop your screen sharing, Susan. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your screen. Okay, fine. Thank you all. Continue with your practice. Thank you.